Hi everyone, Mr. Morgan Lewis here at the school. In this video we're going to cover some basic line work from Chon Ji, being the main pattern for the junior grades, and we're going to cover some principles that you all need to remember when you are practicing line work or any pattern work. So there are three main moves in Chon Ji, spread across 19 repetitions, and for those that have practiced already, you'll be aware of the stances and the moves that I'm going to do. But for those that haven't practiced for a little while or need a little bit more assistance with it, we're going to go through those movements. So to start with, we're going to go into our ready position. Now, ensure you've got some room, okay? You're going to make sure you've got shoulder width wide, okay? Arms in and down like this. When you go into ready position, you want to move your left foot out to the side, okay? As you pull the arms in, and then you punch down like this. Feet pointing forward, shoulder width apart, arms curved, and you've got your back straight. So the drill I want you to do is as follows. You're going to step forward with your left leg first, okay? You're going to go into walking stance. You're going to chamber up, back to wrist, and then low block in walking stance. You're then going to go into L stance with a middle inner forearm block. And then you're going to go forward into walking stance with a midsection obverse punch. But then you're going to start going backwards with the punch, like so. Then you're going to step back and do the middle block in L stance again. And then you're going to step back into walking stance, and then you're going to do your low block. And then you're going to bring the foot that you finished with back into ready position. So what you'll see is it slightly moves you off of the spot, and that is because of the nature of going from walking stance to L stance. So if you find yourself going at an angle, as long as you're doing the stances the correct length and width, that's absolutely fine, okay? So don't be alarmed if you seem like you're going off your centre line. Now, what's actually going on there is we're using the different backs of wrist chambers. Now, remember, you can always refer to a previous video done weeks ago covering that principle. But just to recap, when you go forward and do a low block, if you're going to do it with this arm, it's got a chamber on the inside of the chamber. That's the hand that's closest to you. And it's always backs of wrist because we have a reaction hand and a blocking arm. Okay? Some movements will differ. However, when it comes to a blocking movement as such, then backs of wrist, reaction hand, and go into whatever move it's going to be. So let's do the drill one more time. Left leg coming forward, backs of wrist, here, low block walking stance. So you can see reaction hand is tight. I've got this shoulder slightly further forward than this one, elbow bent. We're not like this or like this, it's like this, and we want the fist in line with the belt, okay? Back leg locked out, feet pointing forward, and there should be a nice stretch going on in that back leg. Okay, you should feel it in your calf muscle. Now, if you also look at the stance, you should not be like this. You'll be off balance, okay? It should be one shoulder width wide. Now, from there, you step forward, you make a chamber, back to wrist. But because we're going to do a middle inner forearm block, we're going to go on the outside. So basically, put your reaction hand behind this one. Put it behind it. Spin it into position. So again, reaction hand, blocking arm, L stance this time. 1.5 shoulder widths in length, 70% weight on the back leg, 30 on the front, which means from this angle or this angle, it doesn't really matter. You need to bend this leg more than this one, okay? We're here. I've got the back foot pointing at 90 degrees and my reaction hand is going the same way, so it's quite a good way to remember that. And I've got this foot and this hand going the same way, okay? So thereby, your shoulders are half turned, and then you step forward into walking stance, measuring with this hand, and then as you step forward, there's your obverse punch, which is aiming straight to the solar plexus with the shoulders locking out straight, okay? Now we go backwards, we start with the punch. So from there, we keep this as a measure. We go back, here, boom, there's your punch. Now from here, what's going to happen is my reaction hand is going to come up on the outside of the punch, on the back of the wrist, okay? Step back, L stance, middle block, and again, heels in line, weight distribution, okay? And then we step back into walking stance, but this time, chamber on the inside, so my reaction hand goes on the top of this one, and then we go low block in the walking stance, and back to ready position. Okay, so that's the drill I want you to follow. Go forward, low block, middle block, punch, backward, punch, middle block, low block, and do that as many times as you feel needed to understand the technique, to understand the timing, the stances, everything else as well. Now, principles. When you are performing these movements, do not perform them just because you've been told to do it, okay? these movements are the key to your self-defense movements within your Taekwondo system, okay? So if you're going to do a low block like this, it will forever be like that. If you want to make sure it's going to work for you, then you need to put in intent. Now, intent means that you're actually putting the required effort or the amount of effort that is necessary to make the move effective. So for instance, when you come forward and do this drill, you watch this first. You'll see how I do it first time, then you'll see how I do it second time. Forward and back, all right? So the first one, like this, like this, like this, like this, like this, and like that, okay? So you can see that it's just basically covering the moves. However, it's not putting them to their full potential. So this is what you're going to do. You're going to go forward, low block, middle block, punch, step back, punch, middle block, low block, and then back to here. So basically every single move counts, okay? There's not one move wasted at any point during this practice, and it's a workout in itself, as you'll find out if you're doing it properly, okay? So those are the basic movements from Chon Ji. That is a basic drill I want you to practice, okay? And let us know how you get on in the comments with it, all right? Like and share the video, and there'll be more content to follow to do with our patterns, okay? But for now, give that a go, practice hard, remember, lots of intent, and think about the technique, okay? Talk again really soon.